Okay, so now we are going to do his head and his tail. So as you can see, that's his facial features. If I hold my hands there, you can see the shape of his head a bit better. And this is our squirrel here. So what we need to do is we need to draw a few lines on his face. Now I'm going to have to turn the squirrel towards me. Let me see if I can try and keep him in shot for you. There you go, that's your squirrel. And I'm also going to have to turn him for a second, but I'll keep turning him back. So I'm going to draw, we want a gap between his ears and then 2 ears here. Okay, so there's the first markings. 1 there, 2 there. And then we're going to turn him back, and basically his face comes at a sort of wide triangle, like so, down to his nose. If I show you that, there we go. So he's got like a wide triangle like that, and he's got little fat cheeks which we're going to add tinfoil, but we need to dig out his eyes. So I've got a couple of eyes here which are beads, and we want to put those in, but obviously they can't just sit on the surface like that. We've got to dig them in. So I'm going to take a knife, and I'm going to try to do this backwards. So we want to take a knife and we want to cut. If you cut straight on the line that you've just drawn, and then sort of cut in a half oval like so. So if I show you that, in fact I might have to draw around it, because there we go, let's draw around it. So that's what we've done. We've drawn that half oval. Yeah. Now we're going to do the same the other side. So let me just draw it so I can see what I'm doing, and then I'll turn it back to you. So flip that out, and again I'll draw that in so you can see what I've done. There he is. So I think that that is a pretty good representation, there we go, like that, of him. So I'm just going to grab these beads and see where we're at. Well, obviously not far enough yet, so we need to cut some more out. So just take your knife and just sort of saw, and then flip out like so. There we go, look, that's better. So now his eye is half in, half out, and we're going to build up some of the rest of his face anyway, so don't worry about that. So we'll do the same the other side. So grab that, just dig a bit more, and then dig it out and pop the other eye in. So there we go. There's his little eyes. Don't worry about the nose for the minute, because we're probably going to make that all up in a second with the tinfoil, so don't worry about it. So the eyes are okay. Now just a tip, these are obviously beads. I've used some broken jewellery. When you're putting the eyes in, make sure the holes that the beads have go in either end of his eye, not ending up right bang in the middle. So slide them round and make sure they go either end. So that's basically how they're going to go. So we're going to shift those out of the way for a minute. And we need to grab some tinfoil, and we need to make his cheeks bigger. But I think before we do that, I think we'll pop his ears in, okay, to give us some idea. So you want 2 bits of wire, and they're about 4 inches long, okay. And we're going to take a pair of needle nose pliers, and we're going to bend them completely in half. So let's see if we can do that. Bend that in half, give it a bit of a pinch so that it's a bit pointed, like so. And then we're going to open it out a bit. So I'm just going to hold that against my apron. So can you see that? Let me turn that, sorry, so that you can see it. No, that's not working. Hang on. Let's find something that's going to work. How about the back of my hand? So there's our ear shape. That's it, back of my hand, that's the best thing. And then we want to allow, I don't know, let's say this bottom section of your thumb. That's about the length we want it. And then we're going to take the needle nose pliers and we're going to bend that back in at that point. And then we're going to straighten it out again. So we want it bent in and then straighten out. So we end up with that sort of shape. However, it's a bit straight here, so I'm going to take the pliers and I'm going to bend the wire over the curved bit of the pliers, so opening that ear up and making it a bit more round. That's a bit better. You see that now, making it a bit more round. So obviously you need to do that twice, and we need to cut off any excess. So we want about 1 centimetre of the length here. So I'm just going to take my pliers, sorry, my wire cutters, and I'm going to cut that out, but I just want to cut it straight over the bin so that we don't end up with any wires where we shouldn't, especially since I spend most of my time in my bare feet. Right, got rid of that. Okay, so we're going to, his ears are going to go here, where we drew those original lines. So we're going to push it right in and right in there. Okay, so there's his ears. And then we're going to kind of bend them sideways slightly. And then I'm going to get some tinfoil, and I've folded a piece of tinfoil. I've just taken a piece of tinfoil like this. Let me show that again, sorry. Take the tinfoil, fold it once, twice, and then tear it in half. And then you're going to take it halfway around the ear and fold, 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 pinch it at the top, and then make it a bit concave, I think is the word, like so. So there is his ears, you can see that. That's one, and you see that there, yeah. And then repeat, so fold that, just keep going round, round, and then pinch them at the point, and then make them curved so that your thumb is going in, sorry, your finger is going in. Let me turn that sideways so you can see they go in there like that. Okay, so that's our ears. So just turning them. You can pinch them together a bit more at the bottom if you want to, but this wire is quite strong, so I'm going to have to do that with, there you go, some pliers. That's better. So there he is like that. And then we've got to tape those up with some masking tape. So take your masking tape, go along the back and go round, and then the front. Just make sure you push it in to the front, and then round like so, and just keep that nice and concave. Repeat at the back. So if you need to nick at the sides here, go ahead and then pinch that round. Oh, I need a pair of scissors, bear with me. I'm just going to trim that bit of tape off, that's not necessary, that bit. Okay, so just pull that, make sure you've got that little bit, and if it's closed up a bit, you can always stick a pen in it and make it more the right shape. So now we need to make sure they're secure. So grab a piece of masking tape, tear it down its length go halfway up the neck and then up the ear. So up the neck, and again just take your knife and wrap that bit, and then repeat that at the front. So masking tape, tear it down the middle, go across his face, into the ear. Again, just use your knife. And then there. There we go. I think they're pretty good. And now we're going to do his face. So we want little fat cheeks under here. So we're going to take 2 bits of tinfoil and we're going to scrunch them to sort of roughly make them round, like so. And then we're going to put them either side and crush them under his eyes, like that, to make him have little fat cheeks. Okay, don't worry too much about it for the minute, because we can always re-crush the tinfoil, but we need to get them on there. So we need a couple of bits of masking tape. So pop those onto there like that, under and over, and you can go right into the eye socket, that's fine. And this one. So go right into the eye socket and then over this cheek. Like so. So I've got little fat cheeks now. So now I need to turn him round to me, and I need to push those in at the bottom. There we go. So in at the bottom, and then just push them forwards. So you're basically creating a sort of triangle shape here. So push them forward, but make sure that they're little fat cheeks there. So I'm pushing my first 2 fingers in and pushing, but keeping it fat at this point. So then get some masking tape on there. Go right up underneath the neck, and the other side. Oh dear, the masking tape is playing up again. Okay, so that one there, down the face, under, into the neck. There we go. That's it. Right, so if we look at him, yeah, I think he looks pretty much like him. Look, here he is, little fat chubby cheeks. And then I think we want to make a bridge of his nose a bit higher. So we're going to take another small piece of tinfoil, so about half a piece, and roughly scruff it up into a ball. And when you're doing this one, sort of roll the bottom half and create almost like a pear shape. So if I show you that, sort of pear shaped, yeah? And then that's going to go on the top of his head like so. Yeah, so roughly turn him round again, you see it sideways. And then I'm going to push and pinch. So I'm sort of pinching, stroking, pinching, pinching at the back. And that's creating that little bit here, this thicker bit here. Okay, so we need to get some masking tape on there. Can always re-crush it once we get the masking tape on. So let's just get that on. So across the top, down and over the sides, in between his ears, down onto the nose like so. And that's given us a bit more here where those eyes are going to go. There's our little squirrel there. And we just want a little bit more on his nose here. And he's got, if I bring that round again, so this little bit is a little bit fat and then pointy. So I'm going to grab that other bit and I'm going to roughly scrush it up and pop the eyes out for a second because they're probably going to... So I want to make that, let me see now, a sort of triangle shape. So that sort of shape almost. Can you see that? That sort of triangle shape. Right down, there you go, triangle shape, yeah? Grab a bit of masking tape. And then pop that. Okay, where's it gone? There we go. Pop that on his nose and push hard. Push really hard and push the tinfoil up. Like so. And we'll just get that stuck. And the other side. Okay, so we want to push that underneath. And then what shall we use? I think I'm going to use just a flat bladed knife. So we're just going to do this little nose piece here. So we're going to push this knife into the top like so, creating the triangle. Okay, can you see that little triangle? I might have to draw it actually, bear with me for you to see it. So I've pushed a knife blade into the nose there to give him that little bit of thing, and he's got a big fat jowly bit here, and I think it just wants a little bit more here either side of the head. So take half a piece of tinfoil and then tear it in half again, roughly roll it together, and it just wants to go about here. We're going to pinch it into the face there but keep it high there, and I think we'll just bring it round and then push it into the face like so, and then we'll just wiggle that eye back in there and make sure that that's the right sort of shape. I think that's the right sort of shape. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we'll get some masking tape on that. So you might have to tear it in half lengthwise so that you can get in the eye socket and up and over that bit, and flatten it down on the face and under the chin. So take a piece and cover that up. There we go. That's better, much better. See, it's a bit wider there. I think you can see that straight away actually. If I put that other eye in, you'll see that this side is much wider and more like the original, much wider here. So that's the one that's fine. You see that, and it's this one we need to sort out. So the other piece, you can do exactly the same. I'm going to try and do it towards the camera for you. So it's going to come from here up, the other way around, sorry, there, from there, round there, over there and flat against the face, making the bridge of the nose wider. Okay, so take some masking tape, tear down the length, so we'll secure it here, and then we'll secure it by going inside the eye and then across the bridge of the nose. Tear it down the middle, into the eye, across the bridge of the nose, and then down this bit at the back here. and covering that up. And then if we put those put those eyes in now, I think you'll see that that bridge of that, well, the bridge basically is much, much better. There, how's that? That's better, isn't it? Much better. So if we gently turn that round, there he is, there's our little squirrel. So if you've got any tin foil at this point that's not covered, you just need to cover it up. So I've got a couple of little bits here I want to sort out. So remember I said that so you need to pop his eyes out again for a minute. The Powertex won't stick to the tin foil. You've got to get all the tin foil covered. So stick that back in. And then there's a bit at the back of his head here. So we'll sort that bit out. Okay, so there we go. So his ears are in tight. His eyes are in, but obviously we shall take him out when we do the fabric sculpting. And now we need to sort his tail out. So, big fat bushy tail. There's the tail there. Let's take him there for you for a moment. Move all these extraneous bits out of our way for a moment. Big fat tail, like that. So, let's sort that out. Where should we put those? Just there a moment. So we want to grab some tin foil and we want to basically try and build this tail up. So the top bit, or actually the bit in between is fatter. So, sorry, let's show you that again. So this bit here, this bit is fatter, but we've got to start somewhere. So we'll start at the bottom. And we're kind of going to make them sort of like that, I think. So if I show you that shape, or almost, sorry, it almost looks like an ice cream cone. Can you see, like that? So you make that shape roughly, and then you take another piece of tin foil and you roll it in it. So roll one way, wrap it up, and then roll the other way. Okay, so it is definitely an ice cream cone now. And then we want to offer it up against our squirrel. So it's going to go down at the bottom, in here, and then it's going to go over. Okay, so can you see that? So at the moment it's not quite big enough. So we need to make some more. So we grab another piece of tin foil and roughly scrush it up, and it wants to go here, and then we'll roll that again into some tin foil. So that's starting to tip over that way. So can you see that now? Let's see if I can get that the best. There you go. So that's sort of the shape. Remember, it's going to be covered in fabric. So we're going to squish it a bit here. There we go. Like so. Tip it again. There he is. So I'm going to do just a little bit more to come down here. And then I think we're going to wrap it in masking tape, and it's not going to be attached to the squirrel because we need to do all the fabric sculpting on the squirrel before we add the tail. So bear with me 1 second. So we want a couple more bits of masking tape, sorry, of tin foil. So we'll have 1, 2. So this shape is going on there, so we need to get a shape that goes here, and one more. I'm going to just open that out a bit more and come that way. Look, that's it. And then we're going to pinch this more of a point. That's better. And then we'll get a bit of masking tape on it before it all falls apart. I'm going to go straight up it. Oops. and then the other way. That's it. There we go. So there's his tail. I think that's very definitely a little squirrel. So we want to get that tail covered in masking tape. Just wrap it, go all the way round, covering all of the tin foil. Obviously, because it's going round, it goes off. Doesn't go round straight, so it kind of goes off round at an angle. So you have to make allowances for that, I'm afraid. So just get that all completely covered. Almost there. My masking tape is so sticky. It's a commercial one, and it's very, very sticky. Okay, there we go. So give that a bit of a point, a bit of a squidge, although we can add more shape to that with the fabric, and then roughly do that and squidge it. Doing it. There we go. And that is going to sit, and you just sort of push it into the base like that, but it's not actually going to be attached. Okay, so let's move this out of the way, and there is our squirrel. I'll just turn him, turn him, turn him, turn him, and he's most definitely a squirrel. Okay, so I shall come back to you when I've assembled all the fabrics that we're going to cover him with, and then we'll start the next part of the video. So I'll just keep turning him a couple more times for you. There we go. Oh, silly me, I've forgotten the paws at the front. Okay, so I shall come back to you and do the paws in a moment. Thanks very much. Okay, so sorry about that. Front paws. So we're going to take a piece of tin foil and we're going to roughly scrunch it together in a sausage, roughly, and then fold it in half and roll it together like so. And then we're going to waste the hands and fold them over and waste them again. Okay, so that is a proper paw. And then that is going to go round this shoulder piece here, and that is going to go down and then up. So we want to grab that knife that we had earlier and just bend it at the elbow like so. Okay, so that is going to go there, and at some point it's going to have a acorn in the center, but at the point at which we add the fabric. So that's one, and I've basically just done exactly the same with the other one. So waste it at the hand and then fold it over and waste it again. That's it, and then push this shoulder bit and take your knife and just pinch it, and that's got to go up, and then that is going to go the other side. So that is going to go either side like so, and obviously they're going to go upwards because they're going to hold a nut at some point. Okay, so if I turn that round, you can see that. Yeah, so we need to get some masking tape on there. So grab your masking tape and pop that round. I'm going to come around and over the end and around and over the end, and again waste that bit so you've got a proper hand for this squirrel. And then around here. Pinch that round there. And then this bit in the middle, I'm going to tear a piece in half because it's narrower. I'm going to go round like so. And then that is so that's my hand. The fat bit is your hand, and that's your shoulder. Okay, so again, we're not going to put those on because we want to do the fabric and then add them. So for now, we're just going to put that to one side, and then we're going to do exactly the same with this one. So actually this time I'm going to put it in the elbow. It was just a bit easier. Put it in the elbow, do that, and then fold it up. And bring that over the paw and round the front. Just get that all on. Give it a squidge again so that it's definitely a paw. And then for this upper part of the arm, roll just a tiny bit more on that elbow. There we go. So you can always squish the hand on the deck, sorry, on your worktop, and they are going to go up there like that. Okay, so I'll turn that round for you. It looks like he's boxing a bit, but that's how that's going to go. And then he's going to have a nut. So when we put him on there, we'll bring that sort of more towards his face, but we can't do that until we've done the fabric on everything else. So there we go. There's his front paws. Okay. So there's his front paws. I'm going to try and do this. This is going to be interesting. Front paws and tail. What I should have done is gone and got another different coloured masking tape to show you that. There we go. Okay, that's it. That's pretty good. Super. Okay, so I am going to down tools now and go and find all the fabrics and everything, and then I shall come back and show you how to cover him with the fabrics, and we will go from there. Thank you very much for listening. Speak to you soon. Bye.